little bit of carrots for early money. Farming. All right, got the last level for my crop cell multiplier. And I think I'm almost done most of the island upgrades as well. Reached island level 100. All right. Good day, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Skyblock Sun on the MCHub / Skyblocky servers. Today, I figured I'd let everyone in on a little secret. We've reached level 100 on our island with the siblings den. Woo! Now, what's great about that is that this was done in 10 days. How is that possible? What did we do? What sorcery did we use? Well, no sorcery, but I'll break down step by step what we did to get to this point in 10 days. A lot of this did involve a bit of grinding, but at the same time, it involved a lot of just knowing what to do to get ahead fast on Skyblock Sun. Can you do it faster? Totally. There are pay-to-win methods. We don't do that here. There are ways where island groups can work together and gain everything really quickly. We didn't do that either. This will be more of closer to a solo / 2 group steps to take on how to reach where we did in 10 days. Let's get started. If you haven't gotten here when you start, then this is one of the first areas you should be going to right after you've created your island. This is the player versus enemy section where you can harvest a few items here, but also where you can get some of your quests done. This is the first place we went to because this is where you need to go to get some of your starting cash as indicated, as well as making sure that you have what you need from this area. You'll notice that if you go to the left, right from the start, there are loads of carrots that you can gather. And these carrots are great for your starting crop, as well as what you need for your island upgrades as well when you focus on that. But right now, what you need is to just grab an inventory full of it. You'll end up getting fuel, you'll end up getting carrots, and then what you do for the money is you sell all, and you'll end up getting the money. And you can do this for a little while until you've got a sufficient amount of money to get things started on your island. With carrots in hand, what you can do is either replant it here on your own island and start upgrading tools to start gathering carrots without any other players interrupting you gathering that. But just remember that you won't get fuel if you do it this way. The other thing is that it'll give you enough money to start shopping for the other items that you need for your island upgrades for farming. If you go /shop, you'll see that you'll have crops and seeds, and these are the majority of what you're going to need for your island upgrades. You'll start with wheat, go into carrots, you'll go into potatoes. You've got melons and pumpkins that you're going to need to deal with. Beetroot is going to be the most frustrating one, but just remember, get the seeds that you need, not the actual fruits, except for potato and carrots. And then at the end, you'll end up doing netherwort, which you'll need soul sand for as well. If you're anything like me, you'll end up designing things or building things a little bit neater, but really what you need is just to focus on getting it inside chunks so that when you start farming, you're able to set it up so that if you've got crop hoppers, they can start accumulating into chests instead of directly just dropping on the ground and you having to pick it up. At the top, you'll see that I have 4 crop hoppers. You could start with 1 and make your way to more once you've got more space and what you want to do. And then you can buy iron and chests to create regular hoppers and just let it trickle down into other chests. Those chests, you can grab it all and do sell all, or if you're lucky enough to get a sell one, you could just boop it and sell the whole chest immediately. And you do that to get more resources and more money, more credits for your upgrades. Don't forget, on top of your island upgrades, you also want to upgrade your skills, which gives you additional resources as you level up. And this will be really useful when you are doing all the grinding that you need to do for farming, for mining, as well as for grinding. For mining, you also have the caves that'll slowly start accumulating resources, and you can mine the resources inside your cave to start gathering free resources to either sell or to end up selling to the cave explorer for island upgrades. You'll see currently I've got some coal and lapis lazuli. This ends up your island cave upgrades as you're leveling up, and when you level up your island, your cave will slowly level up as well to gain various efficiencies, luck, and ore quality. You can sell them to get island level points, which in turn will let you potentially get a few levels or cheaper levels when upgrading. The other thing you should look into as well is making sure that you're completing quests. So do /quests, and you'll see a few easy first ones that you're gonna be able to do at the same time as you're progressing for your own upgrades for your island. First one, easy enough. Cobblestone, attack some stone with a pickaxe, or just grab a bunch of them and start just grinding at it. Once you get 50, you immediately get an iron miner robot, which you can put into the cave. And then the next one is an iron farmer robot when you gather enough wheat. Remember that you can get free wheat and not have to spend any from the grass that's on the island, around the island. You'll see that I show that example in one of the previous videos. If you'd like further breakdowns of what I've done on the type of farm that I've created, go check out the previous videos. It's very informative. It'll help you out getting things done very quickly with a few additional tricks. Just a reminder that the robots that you get from the initial quests, these cannot be upgraded to become bigger robots or stronger robots. The other ones that you can get either from the S shop or the shard shop, or that you can buy off of the auction house that does not have the marker that says this item cannot be combined with another item to upgrade, you'll be able to put those together to go from iron, gold, diamond, emerald, obsidian, and then bedrock later on. But for now, these are still useful to use initially. You can go ahead and put your shard upgrades on them, but just know that you will not be able to recover them like you would when you merge two regular robots together. You'll notice here that I have a blaze spawner with blazes being spawned as well as a grinder. I was lucky enough to get a grinder. They are hard to find and get, but when you do have one, they are very useful in just getting resources like blaze rods to sell. I've made a little hopper system just to pick them up, just because I didn't have a mob hopper. If you do, you can set it up very similar to how I've done the crop hoppers for my farming, but in this case I've just kind of set up a little drop system in here instead. Note that for reaching the island upgrades for spawners for the various mobs that you need to deal with, you do not have to do them on your island. I highly recommend that you go and search on the server other islands that have those mobs. They're probably going to be taxing the experience that you get from it, but it is still worth doing from the beginning. You're not going to have enough money to get a lot of these spawners, and it's a bit of a waste of money trying to buy a lot of these. So look at the spawners that are available on other islands just to get through the island upgrade ones that you have. The reason I have a blaze spawner is it is the one that gives the most experience. The next one I would purchase for money-wise would be a gas spawner. And then if you're lucky enough, the Ravager spawners that you can get from the PvE, if you can get one of those are great, but you'll also need a special sword, a Ravager sword, to deal with those quickly. Needless to say, those are the three ones that are usually the money makers on this server, but if you're looking for just getting and gathering experience, go with blazes. However, there's other ways that you can make money while only having blaze spawners or other setups as well. One method that I've used often is auctioning items that I have that I don't need anymore. You can do one right now where I'm just going to get rid of this farmer robot, select the auction price. I'm making it even make it 1 million, see if anyone buys it for just that credits, and then go confirm, and then that ends up being for sale. Other items that you can sell as well is experience. If you go /experience withdraw or EXP with and put the number of experience that you have, you can sell that as well, because the thing is experience is what's needed for many of the item upgrades that you need. And early on, you're gonna need money, you're gonna need that to upgrade your island. So this is what I used to do early on, is just grind enough to have 10,000, sometimes even up to 25,000 XP, and then I would sell it on the auction house. You'll see that this is done on a regular basis for experience. Shards are currently the requests that are being made the most at the moment, but it just means that when you are selling experience for cash, unless it's a high number like this 1 million XP, you'll be able to just sell it at a reasonable rate and end up getting that money really quickly. Early on, if you sell something like 50 million or 90 million or whatever rate that you can get it sold quickly, those are going to help you very early on with upgrades. But later on, you'll realize that you can get more by selling other items or trading other things, or better yet, end up gathering shards and selling those instead, because you'll be using the experience to upgrade your own equipment. The first equipment that I focused on and upgraded because I wanted to get through the farming upgrades really quickly for the island was a farmer hoe or a member hoe. Green Thumb deals with replanting the crop, so you don't have to go through all of it to replant it yourself. And then once you get to 200, you're basically replanting automatically 100%, meaning you will never have to replant so long as you are gathering a fully mature plant. The next thing that I did was do crop drill. What crop drill does is it takes away all of the crops in a row. The higher the number, the more of it you will remove. I believe it's like for every 5 or 6, you end up getting one more length of the crop to be removed. I have it long enough that I can gather crops for a row chunk, and all I'd have to do is go from left to right to get it all. And this has helped me get through a lot of the higher numbered farming that's necessary. So this is the first item I ended up upgrading. Although the farming hoe was the first one, I did in tandem occasionally upgrade a sword. I was lucky enough to get a inquisitive sword that had a bit of a number in it. The sharpness I've added onto it so that I could one-shot enemies as much as possible, and then I just kept working up the inquisitive on the sword. Note that it is expensive. I mean, very expensive to get the inquisitive up, even up to the 150 that I have, but it is worth it later on when you're trying to get experience to upgrade other items, your equipment that you're going to use later on, especially if you're looking to eventually do dungeons and PvE. But it is also good to gather experience to potentially trade later for shards or other items that you can get, which is very, very useful. And then I've got a golden pickaxe. It has haste 3, efficiency 5, and shard collector maxed out to 225. Why? Why is that? Well, it is one of the things that you can take advantage on this server. Make sure that you have the best chance to gain as many shards as possible by using a golden pickaxe. Not in the cave, but on a cobble generator. This golden pickaxe is useful because it ends up being faster than a diamond pickaxe when full enchantments are done. Add yourself a beacon of haste nearby, as well as being able to farm quickly, and you end up having one of the fastest methods of gathering shards, especially if you have a cobblestone generator set up similar to the one behind me, where you're able to mine several cobblestone blocks, gain experience for your skills, but also, because of the shard collector, gain shards at a high number. You'll notice that my shard numbers right now are at 14,000.75, but already, just by going it through once, twice, 3 times, I've already gathered a lot of shards fairly quickly. In no time at all, I can end up getting 1,000 shards in only a matter of several minutes. And there you go. I ended up using a little one that I made. I just looked up on YouTube to find a simple method of having cobblestone generators made in a row so that I could just look up and do the mining upwards, and then I could just move myself back and forth to get the grinding done. But I ended up just making a much longer one as well, with it being a slightly taller, and that ended up letting me grind for shards, which ended up being one of the more premium currencies. And with shards, you're set to start getting your island upgraded with better robots, better items. And what better way to do this is, primarily, I would use the shards to upgrade any of the robots that you have. It's a bit of a roulette, but if you go to /S shop or shard shop, you'll see that you can buy robots for 8,000 shards, 16, 32, 64, and 128. And if you combine 2 obsidian robots of the same, you can get a bedrock robot. This is useful if you are wanting to get a chance to get one of the higher robots, but you can also get other items to help you, like the generators to up your power generation on your island, as well as potions that you can use during your matches in PvP or PvE. But what I would suggest as well, as always, is to go to the auction house and just see what is available. You'll notice that some things are for sale. Oh look, there's my robot that's for cheap. You'll see a lot of lumberjack robots, which is usually the one that most people don't use, but farmers are great for, especially if you're gathering nether wart. Having one of these guys is useful, but I wouldn't recommend too many of these. I only have one bedrock robot and it's a farmer. The ones that are usually the useful ones are the miner ones and the grinders, and you'll see just an iron grinder robot is 7.5 billion credits. Those are the ones that people try to gamble with when they're gathering their shards, and that's the one that you're most likely going to want to set up on your island. You'll see here that I have my bedrock farmer dealing with the nether warts here, and then I've got my grinder robot there, and all this is possible with the methods and the direction that I've indicated to you throughout this whole video. Lastly, if you are someone who's a title holder, so if you've got Epic, Mystic, Overlord, Sky God, or any of title, you are able to do /kit and gain once per day your kits. The member one is every 30 minutes. This is good if you need a last minute equipment, but right now I have the Overlord title and I'm able to claim Epic, Mystic, and Overlord each day every 24 hours. Why is that useful? Well, for example, I can trade some of these armor nodes for a small amount of fee, but I get credit pouches or XP pouches every time I claim this every 24 hours. This is great. You do not get the pouches for the member one for 30 minutes, otherwise that'd be a little too broken. But if you are able to get any of the other titles, you're able to gather those resources as well to help you out. And just in case you don't do it already, you should get voting and get yourself vote crate keys. They're not the highest items, but you're able, or sometimes you'll be lucky enough to get an Overlord title or a Mystic title from those vote crate keys. I got 2 of them in season 1 that I joined, and that has carried through to each of the seasons. So I'm lucky enough to have the ability to fly because of the Overlord title that I have. If you've got Mystic, you're able to do that as well. Epic, you can't, but what's good is that you can get an Epic rank if you sync up on Discord with MCHub Discord, and you'll end up getting your Epic rank. It doesn't let you fly, but because you can do /kit, every 24 hours you'll still be able to get one of the kits for your armor as well as a free resources. So that's several methods of getting free resources and potentially get extra items to help you out that you didn't need to purchase on auction house or other ways, like crop hoppers or other titles or robots. So definitely worth voting. That's what I have for today. My plans right now is to focus on upgrading my armor, my equipment, with the abilities that I have, with the tools that I have already upgraded. Once I get into that, you'll see more videos of me trying to conquer the dungeons, trying to conquer the PvEs and get the rest of the quests done, as well as other abilities that I'm able to reach on the island. But I'm in a great place. After 10 days, this has been a very, very productive way to start this season of Skyblock. If you're looking for any additional information or want more of a breakdown of different methods to gain yourself the advantage on the server, make sure to like, subscribe, get yourself on our channel's subgroup. We'd love to respond to all the comments that come through. We've already helped out a few people that have commented, and we're looking to help as many people as possible during this time. But with that said, thank you for watching. Have yourself a wonderful day, and we'll see you in the next video. Woo!